Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Spartan Fire, member of Highlanders United. Now today I am doing a tutorial on Tinker's Construct. It's just a few of my friends have been confused in this, and I thought might as well do one of these because I remember when I was starting out, some of them I didn't quite understand the tutorials on YouTube, so I've decided to do my own in a way in which I personally feel it will be better to do. It might not be that way with everyone, but anyway, let's get started. Now, Tinker's Construct, it kind of starts, for me, whenever I start, it starts with the stencil, or the blank pattern. I've really got to rename that. Blank pattern is made using 2 sticks and oak wood in a square formation of 2 by 2, and it doesn't matter which way you have the sticks and the oak planks, they both make the pattern. Now the pattern is used in constructing a lot of items in this, so it's always nice to build at least a few at a time. After the stencil, we have the tool station. Now a tool station is just a crafting table and a blank pattern with the pattern above the crafting table. It doesn't work the other way around, but it will with the pattern above. This is the tool station. Tool station is used for the manufacturing of the basic tools and also the repair and modification of tools you have already made using Tinker's Construct. It will not work with any tools that are not from Tinker's Construct or the vanilla tools, so you can forget about modifying those. You have to use the parts in this in order to make the tools in this. As you can see, it really varies upon which tool you're making, but some of them require 3 parts, some of them 2 parts, some of them even 4 parts. None are in here because this is the basic selection. Moving on. Next is the Tool Forge. Tool Forge is the more upgraded version of the Tool Station. This is a later on in-game station. It gives you access to every single tool you can make and weapon that you can make in Tinker's Construct, and is made with 3 seared bricks, a tool station and 4 blocks of iron in this formation shown here. Tool Forge, you can obviously see it has a 4 by 5 list of items instead of a nearly complete 3 by 5. You get additional things such as like scythe, the excavator, you got the hammer, and you've got a few other weapons in there. Now, what you're probably asking is seared bricks. How do I make those? Seared bricks, I'll quickly go over this. You make, first of all, you use clay, sand and gravel to make 2 grout in the crafting station. These can go wherever in the crafting station from what I've found. I've not found a way it doesn't work yet. Once you take this grout, you put it in a furnace, add some coal, and it will eventually turn out 1 seared brick. Now to get seared stone you need 4 seared brick. Put them together and then you get seared bricks. Seared bricks are what you see here. Right here, this thing. Can be used for decoration, but is also vital in the use of, the creation of a furnace later on in game, and a few of these build parts, such as the Tool Forge and a few of the furnace parts, obviously. Now, we then have a stencil table. Stencil table is made using oak wood planks and a pattern in this way shown, one above the other, and it gives you this. This is the stencil table. Using this, you can use the next pattern and previous pattern to choose which pattern you want to make. Bear in mind, you have to have blank patterns in this area here, otherwise you will not be able to view any patterns to create. So if you just literally click on them and put them in the inventory, you will get these: tool binding, pickaxe, tool rod. These are just some I picked out. Using all 3 of these you can make your own pickaxe. after that you have made the part, well actually, after you've made the stencils, you need to use this. This is a part builder. Now, in order to use the part builder, you need to have a material such as wood. I think you can use flint and all that to create parts. Such here, I've now got a tool stone rod. I've now made a stone pickaxe and a stone binding. Now you'll notice that with the stone pickaxe I did not get a stone shard. The reason why I got a stone shard is because the tool binding and the stone tool rod, if I highlight over here, only have a material cost of 0.5, while the pickaxe had the cost of 0.1. So since they only used half of the material, I got excess material back. I'm not sure what you can use the stone shards with. Personally, I just get rid of them because cobblestone's such a common resource, it never really bothers me. Now, since I've got that, if I go into here, the tool station or the tool forge, you can do it in both, putting them in the right areas, I can then make myself a stone pickaxe. As you can see, it's mining level iron, which means it can mine iron and nothing above the iron level. And I can have 3 modifiers onto the pickaxe. Modifiers are basically customization slots. You just put it into here and then have your customization item in there or there. You can also name the tool, but be warned, you actually have to choose it, have a modifier, and then select it, and when you click there it will then be named that. So I'm not sure if it will actually work. Let me just try this. No, it did not work. You need to add a modifier at the same time in order to name it. So now that I've got that I've shown you the basics of tool construction. Where's the book? There are 3 books that come with this mod that instruct you as to how to use this mod. The first one you should get at the start of the game, which is Materials and You. This shows you how to get started and the recipes. Sometimes it's not exactly clear on what to do, but it shows you how to make a load of things and some interesting other things that are also in the game. Now, to get the next book, you have to sacrifice the previous book by putting it into the crafting table. I don't have one available, but you just put it into a crafting table where this is, and you will get the next book. There are only 3 books, so it only work twice. Now, before I go into any more of that, just put you there for now. Okay, I've mentioned the basic stuff as well as a single piece of advanced. I've shown you how to build a tool. Next, the furnace. The furnace is the next level of the Tinker's Construction mod. Now, once again, grout, clay, sand, gravel. You get 2 grout. Put it in the furnace, you get a seared brick. 4 seared brick turns into seared bricks. Now, seared bricks are the most common things you will be required to have when it comes to building the furnace. But you will also need a furnace controller, which is a circle of seared bricks with an empty center, kind of like a normal furnace with cobblestone or a chest with wood. This is the brain of the furnace. It will not work without it. Next is a seared tank to hold the lava, which is the power source for the furnace. As far as I'm aware, it will not work with anything other than the lava. As you can see, it's similar construction to a furnace controller, except it has glass in the middle. Next is the smeltery drain. The smeltery drain is the way in which you get your melted metals or materials, whatever you've put in there that melted, out. And this is done using 2 columns of seared bricks on either side of the 3x3 crafting menu. Next is the casting table. Casting table is pretty much self-explanatory. You have a cast on there, and you basically, using the smeltery drain and the seared faucet, you pour the liquids out into the casting table. casting basin, effectively the same idea, except you can actually make blocks of the melted material doing this. There's the recipe for it. There's a recipe for that. Basically an N and a U. The sieve faucet I mentioned earlier, it's just 3 like that. Now, when building this smeltery, or I was calling it furnace earlier, no idea why I did that. The way I have found is that if you do a 3x3, ignoring the corners, you do not need the corners at any point. You can put your drains anywhere along here on the sides, as long as it actually appears to have direct access to the inside. Now the faucet, just right click onto there and it will literally almost look like a tap or something like that. Now with the smelter controller, I have found that you need that in the middle, literally like right here. It can also be that place, or that place. I don't want to destroy that, I'll use that later. And the tank, I have had experience with it being on the right hand side, but it tends to be a little buggy if I have it on the right hand side of the smeltery controller, so I always have it on the left. Now for the sake of this, I have set up using extra utilities a retrieval node, and that will, yes, I can put lava into that. Is it not going in or something? It's got like fuel anyway. Yeah, so that's just one way you can kind of auto feed. If you've got an excess of lava, you can put them into tanks and then feed into the seared tank using a form of pipes. Buildcraft pipes can work. You can also use extra utilities. I have no idea why that's not working now. Probably my fault if I know anything. So anyway, this is effectively a completed furnace. You can upgrade the furnace by doing this, and if you do that all around, including here, here and there. Now a standard furnace, if I destroy that, you'll see only has 9 spaces, which means you can melt 9 things at a time. If I upgrade it, you'll notice there's another 9, so now I can do 18 at a time. As far as I'm aware, you can make this 16 blocks tall. At least that's as far as I have ever gone personally. So that's literally the furnace. Now the furnace you have to be careful with, because some materials that you put in here, such as I think it's gold and iron, will actually create another metal, and you'll use up the gold and the iron in the process. Just like using, what was it? It was iron and manganese ore put in together will create steel. Now, if you want to avoid doing that, it would be wise for you to actually look up the materials you're planning to put in just beforehand, because like on the Wikipedia or something for Tinker's Construct, because once you have fused materials, there is no way to separate them as far as I'm aware. One thing I will mention about the furnace is I have heard that some people have been able to create smaller and larger versions of the Tinker's Construct smeltery. I called it a furnace again, didn't I? Me personally, I have not been able to get these to work. The smallest I have seen was literally a 1 block furnace, and the largest I have seen was probably like, what was it, about roughly 4, maybe 5 times bigger than this one in terms of width. Now, I have not been able to get either of those to work. I'm not sure if that's because I'm using a earlier version of the mod, or if someone modded it themselves in order to enable it to do that. Now, okay, so I've shown you how to make a tool, I've shown you how to make a furnace, and I've shown you how to make everything that you will use in this, and also how to automate with some bugginess. Now, I'm going to show you how to do a modification on a tool. Now, going to the tool forge, this can be done in either tool forge or tool station, it doesn't really matter. If I take my pickaxe and put it in this slot here, this is the modification and repair tab, as I mentioned earlier. Now, if I put a diamond in there, you'll notice that here it looks just standard, here it's got an added little colour to it, a little tint of blue. And you'll notice that on the side, modifiers remaining has gone down to 2, it's now upped its mining level, and its mining speed is the same, but you'll notice durability has gone up. That is the main reason for using diamond as a modifier on this mod pack. It literally adds excuse me, durability to it, as well as rises the mining level. So now that it's mining level obsidian, I can mine everything from what you could do with a wooden pickaxe all the way to what you can do with a diamond pickaxe. I believe this is not as strong as a diamond pickaxe. As far as I'm aware, also, diamond is not a valid resource to make a pickaxe out of in Tinker's Construct, which is why it's purely a modifier. So, there, it's now got durability 500. Diamond adds 500 durability to no matter what it's made of, as well as upgrades its mine level to obsidian. If its mine level is higher, don't worry, it will not revert. Now, I'm going to add an emerald to it. As you can see, now has an emerald at the top, and the modifier in the GUI next to this now has emerald under the diamond. I'm going to name it. As you can see, it has now named the pickaxe. If I remove the emerald, as we found out earlier, it will not name it. So you need to name it at the time of adding a modifier. Now, the emerald is very unique in this mod, in which it literally takes 50% of what the durability is before the modification and then adds it on after the modification. As you can see here, durability 500 in the colour of the diamond, and durability plus 50% in the colour of the emerald. This basically means that whatever the durability is beforehand, it adds another 50%, thereby increasing the overall durability. Now, this is good to do, but since emerald is a rather rare resource, not many people do it. So now I have done that again, and I now have a stone pickaxe with diamond tips and an emerald on it as well. Now, we all know that some people, they really just don't like to use diamond to make tools. And also the use of emerald to make tools, pff, you know, it's rare, we get it, but, you know, not many people actually use emeralds. They just sit getting dusty in some chest somewhere. Now, you'll probably not want to use it, because even though emerald is a rare resource, you don't really have a use for it, you don't really want to spend it just in case you find something to do with it. Well, and you might see it being wasted if you put it on this tool. Well, in this case, with Tinker's Construct, that is not the case. Using Tinker's Construct, I can put it in there, nothing major there, but through the use of a bowl of moss. If I show you how it's made, a bowl of moss is made when you have 9 mossy stone bricks or mossy cobblestone in a crafting GUI. You then get a bowl of moss. With the bowl of moss, I can put that on there. You'll see now the modifiers are diamond, emerald and moss. If you hover over it, you'll see what it does, which is durability 500, durability 50%, and then it says auto repair. Yes, I know what you're thinking. It will automatically repair itself. It will be slow, mind you, but it is a little bit quicker in the daylight. To me, not to a noticeable advantage. You'll also notice it now literally looks like moss has overgrown it, like it's been deserted. But now that I have that, it is now a practical living tool. It will, as you use it, the durability will go down, but it will grow itself back. It will recover its durability. Now, that's all the moss does, so sorry, you can't really get your hopes up too much. Now, I'll show you how to make a little bit of a more advanced tool. Once again, I'm going to make a pickaxe. So I'll put the pickaxe in there. Do I have it? No, I do not. Oh, goody. Oh wait, there was paper in there, wasn't there? Now, paper, most people will see it as, you know, it's a rather useless thing. You're literally going, no, come on man, why are you using that to make a tool out of? There is reason behind my madness, I assure you. But using paper, I have now made myself a paper binding and a paper tool rod. You'll notice the handle modifier is 0.3x, which is, you know, it's horrid. It's almost like a downgrade compared to normal stuff. I get that, but what we are going to do, you will have no need for durability. Now, you'll notice that I have put the stone pickaxe in there. The reason being is because we are going to create a mould of it. Now, some of you are thinking, what's the difference between the wooden pattern over there that I used to make this and the mould which we're going to use this to create? Now, a mould is made using the furnace out of either gold or brass aluminium, I believe, was it? Or, yeah, aluminium brass. Now, if I put an aluminium brass in there, you'll notice a little bar to the left of it is now going up with a red light colour. This means the smeltery is currently melting it. You'll also notice a block inside the furnace. You cannot pick this up. That is just to warn you. Also, be careful, because if you fall in here and it's active, you will start bleeding, it will start to kill you, and you will end up collecting blood in the actual furnace. Since I'm in creative mode showing you this, I cannot show you that, I don't think. No, because I'm literally a godlike entity. So, sorry, I cannot show you that. Now, you will take note that the material costs to create the stone versions, which you're going to create a mould out of, will be the same with this. So, since this is a pickaxe, it will take a full ingot worth of aluminium brass to make a mould of this. As such, there are ones that go all the way up to requiring 8 blocks. Sorry, not 8 blocks, 8 ingots worth of material in order to make them in both that stuff over there and this over here. Now, a faucet does not automatically work. Oh shit. Can't believe I just did that. Ah well. As you can see here, I'm pouring aluminium brass directly into a casting basin. I'll stick another one in there to melt. That was accidental. After a while, it will harden, and then you can pick it up again, and then, as you know, I have recovered the block of aluminium brass that I originally melted. As you all know, a block of something like aluminium brass, diamond, emerald, or even iron is made up of 9 ingots, or pieces of diamond, pieces of emeralds, and all that. So literally, when you're in the furnace, that's literally what you do. You melt it, you get 9 ingots worth, and it will even say you have 9 ingots worth in this little GUI. See, I'm hovering over it, and it says molten aluminum brass, 9 ingots. Now, since I've placed something in here, right click, it will fill up and it will give me a mould. You'll see I now have a pickaxe head cast. What a mouthful. Now I want to pick that up and place that back in there. Now what I want is, I'm going to show you how to make something a little more complex. If I take iron and then manganese I need to find the right one. Never mind. So I'll put a block of manganese in there, and just to make it fair, I will put 9 iron ingots in there. Now, these two are alloy metals. They will form an alloy when they're melted in this furnace and then put next to each other. They will form steel. This is one of the ways to make steel, and also one of the ways I found the most useful to make steel. Now, we are going to make a steel pickaxe head, because steel, even though it doesn't have the strongest durability in the game, it does have one of the highest mining levels in the game, which is mining level cobalt, which is higher than obsidian. Mining level cobalt, I do believe, is actually the highest mining level in the entire Yogscast complete pack, which is what I'm currently using via AT Launcher. Now, the issue with it, like I said beforehand, is the fact of it doesn't have high durability. Now we are going to solve that. As you can see now, I now have 18 ingots of molten steel. If I right click, it's now filling up the cast. I now have myself a steel pickaxe head. Now going into here, I'm going to pick up the leadstone flux capacitor from, thermal expansion. Yes, Tinker's Construct does have the ability to use items from other mods to improve its own tools. So now if I select the pickaxe, paper binding, the paper tool rod, and the steel pickaxe, you'll notice there are 5 modifiers. As far as from what I know, paper is in fact the there we are. That just looks wrong on. I can't place it. Paper is the most modifiable material in the game, so using it will give you the most amount of modifiers. I don't know if you have to use the paper tool rod and the paper binding. I don't think so. All the same, I like doing it either way. Now, you'll notice that it only has 225 durability and a mining level speed of 8, which is better than the stone one here with a mining speed of 4. Also, it has mining level cobalt, and that has mining level obsidian. You'll also notice the attack damage is 2 plus more. So the steel is 4, the stone is 2. Now, going back, I'll get myself a diamond and an obsidian. Okay, here I am again. Sort that out. Just call it trial 2. Okay, I've now made what I consider one of the better tools in the game. Now, I'm going to add a diamond to it. I'm going to add an emerald to it. And then I'm going to do the other way of making sure you don't have to constantly repair the item. I am going to place a flux capacitor on it. It does not matter which level of flux capacitor you use on it, as long as it is not the potato flux capacitor. I'm not even sure if it is a flux capacitor, it's capacitor something. Either way, it doesn't matter if you use a higher end one or the bottom of the tier leadstone flux capacitor. They are all the same in terms of how much energy ability they give to this. As you can see, it now has a little bit of a mechanic bit, and flux has now appeared below diamond and emerald in the modifier menu. Durability is now 1087. You'll notice there is now a level for power, or redstone flux. Now this means you can now charge it with electricity, and instead of damaging the durability, it will go with the redstone flux. Now, since I've put the flux capacitor, there is no need for durability. I just do that for the sense of I'm worried because sometimes when I mine, I get lost in the mining and I don't keep track of how much redstone flux there is left. Bearing in mind, since it has a capacity of 400,000 redstone flux, I believe it only ever uses something like 8 redstone flux for mining something like stone, and I think it goes higher or lower depending on what you mine with it. All the same, that is one of the better tools that I know of in the game. You can also do the same with this one, with the moss, and you also have the auto repair. Effectively, these are two sides of a coin. The more natural way, or the industrialist's way, I suppose would be the word. Now, with the flux capacitor, the pros of this are really you can go longer before you need to wait for it to repair or recharge in this case, and the fact of it's probably easier to get the materials to create a leadstone flux capacitor than it is to create a bowl of moss. The cons are, when you charge it, you need, first of all, you need something to charge it in, like a battery or something like that, a windmill for mechanism, a solar panel, a heat generator. Any of those will work, especially in the Yogscast complete pack with the universal power mod. Now, with the moss, what I will say is it is harder to find, so that's a con. But the pros is that it will heal as you use it. So unlike the flux capacitor, you can still use it and it will heal. The problem being is that its healing is a bit slower, so that's another con. Basically, the pro to this is you don't need to lug a battery with you to charge in the field. So that's the main thing. That's the massive promotion for the bowl of moss. Now, this has been a little bit of a starter to the Tinker's Construct. I've shown you how to make one of the better tools in the game. I've shown you how to give it an unlimited lifespan, and I've shown you how to make sure your furnace never really runs out of lava, kind of, because it's not using it for some strange reason. I think I may need to plug it into the bottom of this seared tank. Oh yes, that's the other thing I meant to mention. You will take note that to create the base, I just put the 3 blocks under here, and then I went to the next blocks beside it and then started building up. You do not need to connect the corners on this at all. I think that covers everything really. I'll just quickly go through the books. I've told you basically what one is and how to get the next one. Like I said, this is volume 1. This is all about getting started and certain recipes to get started, such as pretty much this stuff here is all within this tiny brown book. The next book is all about the tools, materials and modifiers. So it teaches you how to make tools, shows you what materials you can use and what modifiers you can add, such as it shows you how to make the frying pan and what crafting parts are needed. Shows you what you can use. Yes, I was right, you can use flint as a resource. You can also use cactus. How interesting. You've got bone, obsidian, alumite, netherrack, blue slime, green slime, paper, cobalt, ardite, you know, so many. And then you have the modifier section, where it shows you how to use the diamond, the emerald, excuse me. You've got how to increase the mining speed using redstone. You've got the auto repair, like I said. The tool slowly repairs itself, and sunlight speeds up the process. And then you have auto smelt, which smelts the items as it goes and can set mobs on fire with 3 seconds. However, I will ask you to take note that some of these customizations to the tool or modifiers are not compatible with others. For example, the moss, the bowl of moss, is not compatible with the redstone flux capacitor or the leadstone. It really depends which one you use. As you can see here, how to make a lava crystal for the automatic smelting, how to make a bowl of moss for the repairing, how to increase the luck of your tool, how to increase sharpness. Excuse me if you heard that, that was my phone. And you know, you've got so many things that you can use. You can even add a tool, a modifier that will behead mods as you kill them. And there's also knockback, so you can just add a piston to your sword instead of having to enchant it. Now, I think that's everything. Oh wait, no. Mighty smelting. basically an introduction to it, the casting process, the construction process, how to make alloys, and what recipes to make alloys. Now, those are the 3 books you will be able to get fairly easily. You can remake them. You literally just, if I hit R, a blank pattern and a piece of paper will get you the first book again, and you can just use that to get the next books all over again. Now, yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so now I have shown you how to use it in, I'd say, the basic detail with some advanced areas. This is Spartan Fire, member of Highlanders United, and this is the tutorial of Tinker's Construct in Yogscast Complete Pack. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe. I have many other series that I am working on. Videos are a little slow at the moment, but it's Christmas. Please understand. I will be picking up my speed shortly after. I do hope to be doing a few more tutorial videos, so look out for those in the future. As I said before, thank you for watching, and goodbye.